The focus of my position is to work within an academic framework, but instead of working with undergraduates, my job is really to engage with and educate the public and extend science to the public. And so in my role, I work a lot with golf course superintendents, professional landscapers, municipalities, sports field managers, sod producers, and my focus is really environmental stewardship or environmental management of turf grass and urban landscapes. So landscape water conservation is a really important subject right now because we see several things happening at once, right? So there's a lot of urbanization happening in the US currently. We're at about 83% urban as a country, and by the year 2050, we're expecting that to go up to about 89%. And so I grew up, was born and raised in the state of Texas. US Census Bureau, they put out a list of the 15 fastest growing cities over the course of a decade, fastest growing large cities a couple of years ago, and 7 of those 15 were in Texas. And so for us, urbanization is a major challenge, and what we see with continued urbanization is several things in relation to water, right? You've got an increase in impermeable surfaces. This leads to greater runoff and flooding potential, stormwater management challenges, and then you also just see a lot more pressure on water resources, demand for water, consumption of water. And in particular, if we look at national trends for how water is used, about 30 to 31% of household water is used outdoors to water the landscape. And in summer months, particularly in a warmer climate, this may go up to anywhere from 50 to 70%. And unfortunately, what we see a lot of times is as much as 50% of that may never actually be utilized by plants or utilized by the landscape. We see it lost to evaporative losses or runoff, and a lot of that can be attributed to poor landscape design, poor plant selection, poor irrigation design, and poor general management practices or misunderstandings of really what's needed by the landscape. And so my job is to really think about how can we conserve water and preserve our water resources with a particular emphasis on landscape water conservation, and in particular targeting those urban and suburban areas where we have a lot of growth happening very quickly, and we see that water getting consumed at very high rates.